In order to have an effective and efficient inventory, we need to prepare our shelves correctly beforehand. I've just got an example shelf here. You can see I want to go through a process of preparing it. The important parts of preparing for the inventory is to get all the products grouped together in order and make sure everything is easy to count. So the things we want to do is you got to look at each one of these boxes, make sure it's the same thing, make sure there's nothing hidden behind. That looks good, it's clean, easy to count. You get to this one, you can see it's a bit of a mess. Here you would need to go through each one of these and make sure it's the same product, and then straightened up to make it look good and easy to count. So I quickly fixed that. You can see before it was stacked unevenly, things falling behind. Now each stack is the same. You can easily count that at inventory night. One thing that will get us with Latitude is we can't have two counts of the same thing in one bin. So you can see here, this item and this item are the same. So we've got to get them moved over into the right area. Things to watch out for while you're preparing is to make sure that there aren't shorter stacks behind taller stacks. If there are, correct that so that you can see everything from the front. Another thing we have to do to prepare is if we have non-full cases, we need to cut the tops off of those boxes. As demonstrated here, that lets us know that those are not full when we count. As we're preparing our shelf for inventory, we want to get products together. As you can see here, we've got the same product on two different shelves. They'll fit on one, so we want to get those moved together. We have to do that with Latitude, obviously. So the move process is we do number one, inventory from the main menu. Number one, move. Number two, items. Scan the source bin. So we scan that bin, scan the code, and it's asking for a quantity. We do 1, enter, and then scan the final bin. And that's it. We can move it down to that location. All right, once we've got the shelf prepared, we need to make sure every item is in CDNet and that every barcode works on this shelf. I'm going to show you how to do that now. If you're in the main menu, you hit F3 to take you to the tools menu, and number one, find, and then you want to do number two, item. It's pretty simple at this point. All you have to do is scan the barcode, and it comes back, it shows you a good part number, and it tells you where it is. We don't really care if those locations are correct at this point, but we want to make sure that item is in CDNet and the barcode works. So then we go down to the next item, scan it as well. You can see it's there, it's a good number. Hit escape, scan the next one. Good number. We can hit escape, scan the next one. Good number, escape, scan the next one. Again, it's a good number. So we know that shelf is set up for inventory to count. All the barcodes work, and we're good to go. Another thing we want to prevent during preparation is shelves stacked too full. At inventory night, having to count this would be a nightmare, probably having to unstack the shelf and restack it. So we want to try to keep it less full as we're preparing for inventory. And if that's your area, thin it out. One thing you may find as you prepare your shelves is we've got products that are the same thing but different manufacturers. For preparation, we would like to make sure all those secondary labels work, or print off labels so that we know what that product is. I'm going to show you how to print a label first of all. So we're going to say that W875, that barcode doesn't work. We want to get a label printed off for that so that we know what it is at inventory time. So to print that label, we go to Tools, F3, Labels, number 4, Item, number 4. We know that's a Rayco 1703, so I've got that typed in. We just want to print one. Then we walk over to our printer. And you can see now I put that label on that product so we can count it easily at inventory. Now, one thing you may run into is your printer is not set up correctly on your login. So all you need to do to correct that, if you need to print those labels, in the main menu, hit F3, hit Setup, number 4 printers, and you want to do label printer number 1. And then here you can choose the correct printer, which 9 is the counter. And that is set up as your printer, so your labels will print there. All right, guys, so we are checking the barcodes to make sure they're all legit. 2052 says it's good. Escape. Scan the next one. It says it's a bad number. I've researched that. I know that that is the same as the 2052. But there's no barcode on that thing that is readable. So we're going to teach that barcode so that it scans correctly. So the way we do that is at that main screen, we hit F3 for the tools menu. Then we go to number 5, setup. Number 2, barcodes. And we want to add a barcode, number 1. It then asks us scan a known barcode. So we scan that one right there, the 2052. Scan the new barcode. Scan that one. Hit enter. And that thing is now scans as the 2052. We can test it by doing find, scan it, 2052. Another way to add that barcode if you don't have the existing barcode that you know is to type it in manually. So we can use the same process, add a barcode. We don't know that item right there. I did some research and it is the Southwire KO51. So I typed that number in there. And now I add the new barcode, scan that barcode there. It learns that, and now we're good to go.